of you maybe have been, you know, waiting for this video to drop, but I'm finally doing it. We have to pull out Enryu's White Room soundtrack for this, right? Anytime we got some spicy drama, we want to play the shoutouts again. Could he change his video title to the Moya emote to this? It's crazy. I got an entire classroom of the elite White Room soundtrack dedicated to me. Okay, this is how it's gonna go down. So, I thought about how I wanted to approach this. We're gonna have a 3-part video. First video will tackle the most important theme, which is your boy Roshi's tweet about the whole notion of pausing, the whole skill issue aspect of Lord of the Mysteries. Second video we'll be talking about is Nicholas Light, about is Lord of the Mysteries fandom that toxic, that elitist, that gatekeepy? Is it the worst fandom ever? And then the third video we'll be talking about is this gonna be masturbation? No, it's not gonna be about that, but what I'm gonna be doing is masturbation. I'm gonna just read the glaze and I'm gonna say I am the best ever because everything I do is just so perfect, okay? So that's gonna be the 3-part video. So, first things first, people that's coming in here that's out of context, what's going on? There is an anime called Lord of the Mysteries happening right now, and it is a show that is just too hard to understand. Too big brain, bro, and only some people can understand it, while some of the biggest creator like your boy Roshi are having difficulty with it. And I have a lot of things to say. And there's a lot of discourse happening, and you can see Ellen Historian is coming into these tweets and basically responding. And here we go. I am about to burn all bridges right now, but not really. What I'm about to say, I don't really mean it, okay? I'm about to put the React Messiah persona on, the protagonist of this era, and say the quiet part out loud, and then after that, I will carefully, analytically, you know, dissect everything and basically approach a very a very respectable solution. Every content creator that I talk about in this video, I deeply respect, and I have a lot of, again, respect for. So keep that in mind, all right? And I hope that no one will be clipped out of context. Here we go. These fucking big channels are a bunch of frauds. A bunch of baby back bitches that are crying that, oh, these shows are so hard to understand. It comes down to a skill issue. It just comes down to a skill issue. Why can I understand this? Why can other channels like FlexiJ Anime, Freshest Anime, Jammy-oo, and so many others can understand? Some of them don't even pause. Yes, so many are fucking crying. It comes down to a fucking skill issue, baby. For too fucking long have people been fed with reaction slop on YouTube. Motherfuckers just sitting there saying nothing. The extent of a reaction is this. Oh my god! No fucking way! Do you even understand where the term React Messiah comes from? I'm here to deliver you to paradise. I watched reaction content growing up, and I thought to myself, damn, these motherfuckers really making the annual salary in a month watching anime without saying anything. I remember watching One Piece reactions back in the day, and these dudes would say nothing. In my favorite moments, when I want someone to talk about the core themes, I want someone to actually think more than just, oh my god, and just briefly glance away, to dive deep. I identified that pain point, and I decided, fuck it. If no one's gonna do it, I'll do it myself. So I pulled up, and that's why I'm the React Messiah. I'm here to deliver you to paradise from all these fucking garbage ass reactions where motherfuckers, again, from the beginning has just been lazily just watching, barely understanding anything. They have no understanding of character motivations. They have no ability to theory craft. All they can do is just like make a couple shitty jokes here and there, laugh with their friends, and that's the height of their reactions. It's gotten so fucking bad that monkey retards come into my fucking videos and say, oh, you pause too much, you talk too much, why don't you react more? Hey, retard! Do you know what a reaction is? I'm literally reacting. I am doing the minimum effort to put in the fucking time to talk and react about these shows. But because these fucking children have been poisoned. They're like some TikTok brain shit. They grew up watching these fucking mainstream channels where all they do is just watch Battle Shonen and Unga Bunga crayon eating shows, and they think that a reaction is straight up a person sitting there and going, Wow. No way. Oh my god. Type shit. No way. Don't worry though. You are misguided lambs. And I welcome you. You can change your faith and follow my path. I'm pointing the way. When you watch my video, you should be on your fucking knees, licking my shoes, chanting, Lisan al-Gaib, voice from the outer world, deliver us to paradise. That is the quality that I hope that my videos represent when you watch my content. And it's been a long time cooking. I've been putting the fucking work in, day out. And finally, motherfuckers are starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, there is a quality difference in the type of reactions that I'm able to do, some of my competitors are able to do, and some of these fucking dinosaurs that have just been coasting on their asses because they've gotten so fucking big, bro. That's how I genuinely feel about this shit. I do, bro. And you know what? These motherfuckers, they don't want it like me. They're not hungry like me. They're not obsessed like me. Who else is fucking pumping content like me on a daily basis? I stream 6 to 8 hours every fucking day, pumping out 6 to 8 videos a fucking day. This channel has 5.2 thousand videos, and then you're gonna say, oh, you pump out reaction slop? Yeah, I do, but you still have to pull up. You think every video is a fucking trailer? Look at the fucking duration of these videos. These videos are longer than most motherfuckers' entire reactions themselves. And, bro, it's not just one show I'm covering. How many fucking shows am I covering, bro? I'm watching 30 separate fucking shows at once, and this is not an exaggeration. I am doing this shit live as well. Some of these motherfuckers, again, are literally just sitting there recording this shit offline with a bunch of their friends. They have multiple brains to work off of recording this shit offline. I have to do this shit live. Everything is one take. I need to entertain my chat. I need to entertain my fucking chat while reacting at the same time, while thinking about so many different fucking plot points and still deliver this quality. And you got spoiled ass big channels saying, oh, I don't understand how this shit works. Where? It disgusts me. It's disgraceful. This is the pinnacle of a reaction niche. These are the big creators in this platform that represents my niche. It's fucking disgraceful. It's disrespectful. It's fucking disgusting. And ain't nobody, again, want to do it like me. Because no one is this fucking hungry. These motherfuckers, they've already made it. These motherfuckers have already made it. They're making millions and millions of dollars while I'm in the fucking hood trying to make it. I'm trying to get into the fucking league. Why would they care? And that's why you shouldn't have this expectation from bigger creators. And let's dissect this. Everything I've said right now, again, I hope you understand, is pure exaggeration of my deep and honest feelings. And again, I have a lot of love for these big reactors. But we have to talk about something. We have to really sit here and talk about the big problems, all right? We are gonna analytically dissect what's going on. First questions first. And I think that Chibi kind of brings up here, right? Yap. Basically, is this shit rushed? Let's talk about it. Is Lord of the Mysteries not reaction friendly because its pacing, is fast? Yes. I think this is an objective fact, right? I think that this is an objective fact that Lord of the Mysteries Donghua is a fundamentally different experience from any other anime, and it is absolutely a type of anime that if you're not pausing, if you're not, trying hard like me, it's gonna go over your head. Let's acknowledge that. I absolutely agree. right? Let's read some of the tweets first here, right? If you need to do homework and watch a show or watch YouTube breakdowns of other sidebar shows to explain the main show, then that's lame. Most people do not want to be doing all that, otherwise they would read the source material. I disagree with this. I think your boy Roshi is not fully understanding what's happening with Lord of the Mysteries and is blaming the filler content such as the chibi shorts where Klein goes on slice of life, episodes, or even the old Neil mysticism class, which honestly doesn't even talk about the main plot points. That's extra power scaling shit. That's extra power system stuff that you want to maybe listen to do additional theory crafting. So here's another question I propose to do. Do you need, right, Unc Neil mysticism slash chibi shorts to deeply not even deeply, to understand at a surface level, right? I'm not talking about these dudes talking about this show on my level of depth, okay? I'm talking about just base level understanding, surface level, because apparently these guys are confused about the plot right now. No. Why? Because again, chibi shorts are just filler SOL fun. Neil classes are additional power system stuff, lore that may be required for deep theory crafting. Okay? So no, I disagree that you need to know these extra stuff to have a surface level, just easy understanding of this show. All right? Now, let's talk about this. So then, is this a skill issue? Okay? Now, is this a skill issue of not being able to understand Lord of the Mysteries? Yes. And there is nothing wrong with it being a skill issue. Many people hear skill issue and get insecure because, I mean, listen, I would be personally insulted by it too, right? If you're telling me that I'm not smart enough to understand a show, I would get defensive. Yeah, it's a personal attack on me. Of course I'm gonna get upset at it. But I think that you should take this, because at the end of the day, it's almost like a review, right? Because this is a business, right? There's a reaction content, no matter how much, we do it for a hobby and for a passion, you're still basically, it's a client-facing fucking, shut the fuck up! God damn, there's a fucking ambulance outside. It's basically like, it is a job, and it is your job to provide a good experience. And if other people are coming back and writing bad reviews saying like, oh, like, I don't like, your product, your food, you're like a restaurant, you need to provide improper service. That's like the equivalent of saying a skill issue. So you shouldn't take that personally. Maybe you should do a deep reflection of like your content and think, do I need to, improve it or not? Yes. Okay. And here's another thing. I think that, and here's the other thing. On top of the skill issue stuff, if you have a skill issue, this is the really important takeaway here, okay? This is the really important video, the part of the video. If this is a skill issue, should a reaction channel think about other solutions to understand the show better? And I think a lot of people are gonna have different opinions about this. My goal here is not to put people on blast and say, these people are bad, these people are good. I'm here to bring forth a discussion and ask questions because I don't have the answers. But what I can do is approach it with a perspective and make people think about this and to kind of stoke conversation, okay? So if a reaction channel has a skill issue in understanding this, should they think about other solutions to understand the show better? Well, it depends. It really does depend, right? Here's the first way of thinking. Personally, I think, yes, they should put in the effort to understand the show by perhaps pausing right? There's many different solutions. You can pause and basically react at the same time. That's the way that I do it. That's the way that some other people do it. And in doing that, it's so much better to thoroughly understand, right? And if you look at my old videos, these videos in the past, like, they weren't being paused. And what I noticed is, even though I was able to maybe comprehend things a little bit better than the average person because of how sweaty I am, I will acknowledge there are many cases where I'm talking over the show and there's no way I'm fully understanding the actual show. And I'm missing out on stuff. And I remember reading a comment of like, listen, you're yapping over these scenes. I enjoy your commentary, but if you could just pause and give your take, I think it'd be better. And I got very defensive about it, and I was like, shut the fuck up, monkey! And then I thought to myself, what am I doing? These are actual criticisms and pain points that my audience is bringing up. In a business, you're supposed to identify these pain points and deliver a solution. That's how you get a competitive advantage. And the way that I do reactions, I do want to give a thorough analysis. And ever since I started to pause my reactions and change my format, I think that my channel started to do quite better too, because it's attracting more of that audience. And that's what I started to do. Now, for some reason, your boy Roshi doesn't want to pause. Here's some takes here, right? I think that, let's say over here, Lupa-san, if you don't know about Lupa-san, is one of the 3 members of your boy Roshi channel. That right? There's Roshi, there's Shira, and there's Lupa, right? I think Roshi and Shira are a married couple, and Lupa is a good friend in the channel. That's their overall trio, right? And basically, Lupa has a take, and he says, if you have to pause something to sit there and understand what's happening, then it's not reaction worthy. That's something you watch on your own time. No, I fully disagree with this statement. This is something that may apply to a watcher. Someone who is passively watching there, just watching a show by themselves, okay? Maybe because like, this is your job. You represent one of the biggest reaction channels on YouTube. So you should have some level of professionalism to be able to like comprehend these shows. And if finding a solution like pausing is necessary to do so, don't you think that like it just kind of makes sense? If and it is an expectation, I think, that should be beholden to them, because they are massive content creators, again, representing reaction content. If this was a random dude that doesn't really do reaction content or just watching, I could maybe agree with this take that like, listen, I'm just here to watch the show and I don't want to pause and dissect it, right? I'm just scrolling, I just worked my job, I came home, and I'm just here to chill and I don't want to think too hard. That's totally fine. That's why I exist. I'm here to break shit down and spoon feed you the content, because maybe you don't want to fucking think too hard after having a hard day and you come here to have a fun time. I'm all for complex storytelling, but if it's getting overly complex to where I need to watch explanation, read the source material, then watching it makes no sense. Again, this is a myth. You do not need source material content to watch the show. There are plenty of other reactors who are not even pausing and are able to understand, again, the story at hand. Nothing against the show either, because I think the animation is fucking amazing. I generally don't really care about the animation from Lord of the Mysteries. That is honestly like a side point. It's like a cherry on the top. I care about, again, the deep story writing of Mysteries. And then here's a very interesting comment right over here. Ready for it? Where is it? Where is this tweet that he made? There's one more thing I want to address. Over here. Michelangelo pauses a lot though. So is not reaction worthy still? Editing must be a nightmare. Lol, we would rather not. One of the main reasons why we don't do it like that is because it makes editing a nightmare. You have to sync the episode up with when you pause, rewind, and then pause it again and still make sure it all goes to the video. Absolutely not. This is what I keep saying about these dudes are outdated. In all due respect, this is a very outdated opinion. People like, because they haven't changed their methodology and how to make reaction content for probably over a decade. Everything that you edit does not need to be separate audio files. So here's the thing, right? Basically, if you don't understand what he's saying, is basically you need an audio file for just your voice and a separate audio file for the anime audio. If you pause, somehow when you sync it, right, suddenly it's getting it's no longer synced because you're going back, right? Now the anime audio is ahead, but what you're watching is behind. This may have been a valid thought back in the day when people didn't really know how to make reaction content under fair use. But guess what? And that's why they do this shit to alter the pitch of the audio. If you watch their content, you'll realize that like their audio sound, it has a different pitch to it because they think that that is necessary in making fair use and to protect their content under transformative content. That is not the case. That is a myth. You can have everything in one video like I do and like many other people do and simply cut. You play a segment of the source material, you cut, go ahead, next, and then so on. That already is meaningful transformative content. There is no rule set that says you must change the pitch of the audio. All the rule set says is you must transform the content, make it a unique experience, and not include the full source material. So what does that mean? That means that if you edit the way that I do or Michelangelo or many other people do that don't necessarily alter the pitch of the audio, simply by cutting the segment and going ahead and whatnot, that itself is meaningful content that you can fight in court under fair use. I truly believe this. So I think that this is a very outdated opinion and it's an excuse being made under, I hope, is misinformed, opinion. And they're just making excuses of like why this is not possible. It is very possible. So and of course, it's gonna take more time. Absolutely, the editing will take more time if you do this shit. So at that point, you have to ask yourself, is it worth the investment? We had a drama outfall the other day talking about some fucking random ass kid that's clout chasing telling me that like, oh, you should still, edit your own videos or, pump these videos if, even though they're not doing well. And then I had the argument of why the fuck would I waste my time editing these videos or trying to make, pay my editor to, upload these videos when it's not doing well? That's a waste of time. This is a different context. Clearly, Lord of the Mysteries is not underperforming. I think that it is a worthy investment to put into. And if it's, I don't know, I think it's worth it. Anyways, the whole editing stuff, it is a false opinion. Do not believe in that myth. That's not how that works. So here it is. We talked about the pausing stuff, right? And here's the thing, Ellen Historian came forth and said, what exactly you're confused about? Lord of the Mysteries is the kind of show where you really need to pause and read the subtitles carefully. It's dense and layered. From watching your reactions and Nicholas Light, it seems like you guys just power through it without doing that, which might be why things don't click. With dub, you probably won't have this. And no, you don't need to do homework to understand it, but exactly right over here, right? We're talking about base level, surface level understanding. We're not talking about deep level theory crafting. It's just that these guys don't even understand the base plot of it, right? And that itself can be addressed by simply pausing and taking your time to watch. And then your boy Roshi responds, I get what you're saying, but respectfully, watching a show naturally without pausing is not powering through it. I think it is. I think that sometimes people are just sitting there and offering nothing of value, and they're just sitting there confused, and they're just trying to get this shit over with because they may not be engaged with it because they don't understand what's going on. I enjoy the deep shows with layers like Severance where you can naturally watch and understand, but there's hidden stuff when you get the context. Yes, but here's the thing about Severance. Severance's pacing is fundamentally different from Lord of the Mysteries. Lord of the Mysteries is way, way faster. Severance allows you with way more time, way more breathing room to let this shit, manifest in your head. Dialogue doesn't just go at light speed like in Lord of the Mysteries like it does in Severance, right? So it's not about that. You don't need to pause in Severance because the pacing in Severance is so fucking slow in the way that, again, each episodes are that you don't need to. Pausing on a show every 2 minutes, every episode is a bit ridiculous. 2 minutes? Try pausing a show every fucking like 30 seconds, if not less. Just read the book at that point. No, you can simply read the subtitles. In my opinion, the show is not doing the source material any real justice. This take, I think, might be true. I think a lot of people are kind of upset at the way that Lord of the Mysteries is being done, but that's beside the point. We're talking about the nature of pausing and whether or not should pausing be a method in reaction content. It just looks amazing. It generally seems like a great story, blah, blah, blah. I'm saying you probably need to pause occasionally to process all the dialogue, especially since it's Chinese, right? Mandarin is fast. If it's English, sure. Link click is also exceptionally complex and we don't pause for that either, nor did we when we were watching in TV Hero X in Mandarin. The show is simply moving way too fast for the average non-light reader to really try to comprehend what's happening more than the surface level at best. And I do agree with you, right? Again, I'm not arguing against that. Yes, it is fast. So does that mean, shouldn't you mean that you should find alternative solutions? Rather than making complaints and excuses about how this is impossible to understand, this is like, content creation is a job. You represent the biggest, one of the biggest reaction channels in this niche. Shouldn't it be just like, isn't it not just like base professionalism for you to at least just try to be good at your job rather than making excuses of why it's impossible? I just don't understand this entitled mindset. What? And here's another thing, right? Let's go back. This show is simply moving too fast. While I would have preferred to enjoy the slow burn and payoff, causing the adaptation is going to be backfire on them. Unfortunately, I kind of agree with this. Maybe this take at the end, I do maybe agree with. This is the third time I'm asking, but actually, what do you not understand or comprehend? What are you missing? Right? Basically, they don't know what they're missing. This is the situation where basically these channels don't even know what questions they need to ask because they're so confused from the beginning. It's like a calculus class where every lecture slide, you need to build upon principles and rule sets. You look away once, so you go to the bathroom, you come back, oh shit, you're fucked now because 3 set of rules have already been introduced and you have basically are 2 behind, and now you don't even know what to ask anymore. They lack the fundamentals exactly. So this is their overall take with the whole pausing stuff. Let's think about this entitlement that they have, right? Are they entitled for refusing to pause? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think so. But is it wrong for them to be entitled? Is it wrong for them to be entitled? No. Not necessarily. Because here's the thing. This is a very nuanced issue, right? A lot of people always think in absolutes. I don't think like that. Everything is very nuanced and on a spectrum, and there's a lot more details that needs to be discussed, right? Why is it not wrong for them to be entitled? Well, here's the thing. If they're not even enjoying the story, why would they care to try harder? Right? Because here's the thing for me. I understand that Lord of the Mysteries is very sweaty and it's gonna take more effort. But that makes me happy because I wanna dive deep. I'm the type of person that sees something like this and think, this is a great opportunity. We can dive deep and get way more out of a show. When I pause and fully understand something, I get way more immersed into a show. Some people say when you pause, it breaks their immersion. Sure, that's your opinion. For me, the better I understand things leading up to moments, the more immersed I am, and that's how I get the most out of a show. If you just want to sit there and just kind of understand stuff at a surface level and have to rewatch over and over again and barely understand something, sure, that's on you. Everyone does things differently. I like pepperoni pizza, you like vegetarian pizza. Hey, that doesn't mean that like you and I need to have like these discussions of what's good or bad, right? Everyone has their own subjective things. To me, when I have extra content, extra cut content, the, Unc Neil's mysticism class or any use cut content or extra cut content or stuff that I want to supplement my knowledge with, it's like a dessert. It's like a reward for me. I want more because it's so fun to me. But if it's not fun to them because they don't enjoy these type of stories, then they don't need to offer these solutions. So like what I'm getting at is I don't think they're enjoying this story. They don't like this. And I think that maybe they would like it if they tried to. And this is a chicken and an egg situation, right? Where it's like, well, you're saying that they don't like it, therefore they're not going to try hard. But maybe if they try hard in the beginning, they would actually enjoy the story. And then that itself would become a positive feedback loop over and over again. At the end of the day, it's all just entertainment, right? So if you're not having fun, then what's the point, all right? What's the point, right? And here's the other thing too. If this is a job, shouldn't there be some professionalism, right? Professionalism to at least try harder, right? And I think a lot of people are of this mindset that, like, again, you need to at least try to, like, you're not just like a random watcher, right? This is not a group chat where people are sharing opinions of shows and saying, oh, I don't like this show because it's too fast for me and I don't want to pause, right? These are like commentary reviewers, reaction channels. This is not like a random fucking friend in a group chat. This is a 1 million subscriber channel on YouTube, and I do believe that there is a level of expectations that comes with having that sort of power and influence. When you have such a diehard fandom like Lord of the Mysteries come in, and you see these big creators not even give their show a valid chance or even the effort because it's too hard to pause the show, doesn't that just kind of come off very entitled, right? So I understand why a lot of people are disappointed with you, your boy Roshi. But here's the other thing too. Solo versus group reactions, right? So here's the thing. Me, when I react, I think that my reaction experience is fundamentally different from group reactions like your boy Roshi's. What do I mean by that? When I'm reacting, you can get a sense of the discussion that I'm having with you, the viewer, right? I'm asking questions. A lot of them are rhetorical. A lot of them are questions that I'm not asking for you to answer, but I'm having a discussion. I'm engaging with chat. I'm engaging with the past comments on the YouTube videos. And this is a very, like, you and me, we're doing this together. We're watching this show together. And because of that, I have this expectation and a standard placed on me to basically perform for you. And therefore, I'm going to try harder and entertain you. That's my job. That is my responsibility. In a group reaction, like your boy Roshi, it's different, right? Because a group reaction is, they're talking amongst themselves, right? If you look at their, and I'm not saying that they're ignoring their audience, right? But when they watch these, when you're watching a your boy Roshi reaction, right? Basically, it's a group of friends watching a show together and having fun together. They're here to make jokes at each other, to entertain each other. You, the audience, are an afterthought. You are simply, and this sounds kind of creepy. You're basically peeking into the house of your boy Roshi to watch them, like, watch a shit. That's it. Like this is like a parasocial, like, friendship interaction. You know what I mean? Of like, you have you're voyeurs. Yeah, you're creeping. You're doing a little spectating. You're doing a little peeking. You're like, oh, you know, 3 friends are having fun and they're talking amongst themselves and we're just kind of enjoying their vibes. Right? So with that being said, now you can understand a fundamental difference in the type of reactions that exist and why a group reaction wouldn't have this mindset of me being a servant. I am a servant, and this is an experience that I'm meaning to portray to you, right? I'm trying to entertain my guests. I'm trying to entertain, you guys. But group reactions like your boy Roshi, y'all, they are trying to just entertain themselves. And if them as a friend group are not having fun watching it together, why would they try? You know what? So, like, these are, again, things that I think you need to understand, that, like, there's different context involved in different reaction content, and why some people are not going to view this as like a job, right? And here's another thing too. You can quit a job if you don't like it, right? Listen, just because it's a job doesn't mean you need to fucking stick around and keep doing that job, right? You don't like the job, you quit. So AKA, drop the show. And it's unfortunate that Nicholas Light and your boy Roshi will most likely drop the show, because they are, without a doubt, one of the biggest, influencers in this reaction space. They have millions of subs together. They have a lot of pull on these shows. It's not that the Lord of the Mysteries fandom needs them, but it is a positive. It's a net positive at the end of the day. But if they're not enjoying it and they don't like it, and it feels like it's like, even if it's a job, like listen, it's gonna be annoying, right? So if they want to quit, hey, no personal feelings, you can do that. Here's another thing I want to talk about too. And I think that the other talking point that I want to mention. So far, we have basically gone through, is it not reaction friendly? Yeah, it's not. Do you need this extra cut content? You don't. So is it a skill issue? Yeah. So if it's a skill issue, is there other solutions that you should maybe explore? Yeah, I think that you should. But that's my mindset of approaching this as a solo reactor as a pure business, right? And if people don't want to, you know, basically seek out these pausing solutions because it's gonna fuck with their overall vibes, right? Then maybe they don't need to do it. So they're not entitled to, you know, offer these solutions. Like a lot of people may think that they're entitled and they're lazy and they should try harder. But if it's not aligning with their interest and it's fucking up with their overall group vibes, not every reaction channel needs to be the same. For as many people that appreciate my type of content and the analytical breakdown, many others despise my type of content and would prefer a group of friends casually watching a show, laughing and having good vibes. If they were to pause and do this different shit for different shows, then suddenly maybe it's gonna fuck up their workflow and ruin the overall, you know, the brand recognition that existed on this channel. And hey, I completely respect your decision not to pursue these things, okay? And that's kind of where we're at right now. There is some additional thing that I wanted to mention about, what's it called? The criticisms, I guess, right? Like, basically, when you approach this as a business, right? Think of it like a food review, right? Like, no matter what, when you put yourself out there, you're going to be compared with others. And you can chalk up this reaction content as like, oh, we're just doing this for fun, you know? You shouldn't judge these reactions. These are just subjective things. But no matter what, when you put stuff out in the market, like, it's gonna get compared no matter what. So, like, you should have the base, like, expectation of that happening and be able to kind of address that. This whole, like, crash out, it's not really a crash out. It's just your boy Roshi speaking out their opinions about this. And I just feel like, at the end of the day, it is a fast-paced show. It does require extra effort. And I would hope that the beacon of hope in our, you know, the pillars of our reaction space could put in the extra effort to deliver a solution that I think would be just good. But it's unfortunate. But don't worry. At the end of the day, you got me. And more people are starting to recognize, you know, my type of content and other people that may be more analytical. And we can all coexist together, okay? We can all coexist together and have fun and basically just exist in peace. I hope that you understand more from this breakdown of what I went through, of like this, I think that I did a pretty good job, right? Like, I'm not here to, again, just crucify motherfuckers and say, lazy fuckers, they don't deserve anything, they're out of touch. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to offer you different perspectives of why some channels would refuse to do certain things, why some channels do certain things, and that, like, this is a lot more nuanced because so many people just have these absolute positions and wants to put people on blast. But at the end of the day, this should be for fun, right? You should be, the most important thing is you need to be having fun. If you're not having fun, it's a fucking waste of time. And you may want to just drop the show if you're not having fun. I'm going to be here doing my thing. You can check out my Lord of the Mysteries reactions if you want. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. And I hope that more drama will stir up in the fandom so that I can keep farming content like this. Next is going to be the Nicholas Light take. Next is going to be the Nicholas Light take, and whether or not this fandom is overtly toxic and elitist, then that's going to be a fun video too. And then after that, we're going to do a self-glaze video. Oh yes, React Messiah, by the way.